Yeah. Morning all. So myself, I'm Vijay. I hold 14 plus years of experience, which includes 7 plus years of experience in Python environment. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django-based applications. So well versed in implementing different Python libraries like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib. Experience in implementing large-scale business critical systems using object-oriented design and programming concepts, and developing variety of web applications, implementing MVT architecture using server-side applications. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? So can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Thank you. So just I'm going to cover the following topics as part of this today's demo session, right? So why Python? So already we have got many programming languages. Why again Python required? And also Python is not a kind of language which is very recently introduced into the market. It came into the Python was developed in the year 1918, and almost like 30 years back it was introduced. Why all of a sudden Python has got super popular? What are the reasons for it? And who can learn Python? Who can learn Python? Right? And I need to know how Python was built and how Python was derived. How Python was built. And before you update with this, right, we need to know what kind of applications we can develop using Python. Python real-time applications. So Python mostly used in developing what kind of applications? Python usage. Who are using Python and which companies are using Python, right? The top application developed by using Python. Python features as compared with other programming languages. Python comparison with other programming, coding wise, length wise, complexity wise, you can check the Python how it looks as compared with other programming. And reasons, the main reasons which Python, why Python is suddenly super popular, and reasons why Python is suddenly super popular. Python's open job market. What is this Python scope and job market? Okay. So this is what I'm going to cover as part of today's demo session, right? So I'll be just covering these topics, right? Today and tomorrow we'll be discussing brief on these things. So if people can attend the sessions today, tomorrow, and after tomorrow for the next 2-3 days to see more on this Python. So at the end of the session, I'll be giving time for your general queries, right? Okay. So I'm starting. Why Python? Why Python? So I define Python in 5 lines. Python is a general purpose programming. General purpose programming language and multi-programming paradigm. Multi-programming. Let's be in mute. Amanaditya, please be in mute. Okay. Python is a general purpose, multi-programming features are included. We see many other programming features, multiple programming languages features within Python. It's a high-level language. Python is a high-level language. And Python, which comes as an interpretation language. It is interpretation language. Okay. Line by line execution we are going to see, right? And user-friendly or programmer-friendly programming language. User-friendly programming. So let me discuss one by one briefly about what Python is. A general purpose programming language. It's a general purpose programming language. What? So before Python, so Python was introduced in the year 1989. Before Python, we have got some programming languages. For example, we have got some programming language like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL. Okay. These programming languages are used for specific purposes. These are used for specific purposes. These are purpose-based languages. These are purpose-based. They are not for all the purposes, but like if you talk about like Pascal, Fortran, they are for developing scientific and mathematical applications. COBOL for business applications. For they are for specific purpose. But a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application, such a language we call it as general purpose programming language. A language which is suitable for developing any type of application, such a language we call it as general purpose programming language. Python is such a kind of programming where we can develop any kind of applications like web applications, automation applications, animation applications, graphic applications, networking applications, desktop applications, gaming applications. So in this way, varieties of applications can be developed by using Python. It is not for specific purpose. It is not like purpose based. So general purpose programming language. Any kind of application can be developed by using Python. Multi-programming features. We see like what features, what all the features we see in different other programmings. Everything we can see within this Python. I give a labor example. For example, if you want to launch a new product in the market, for example, you're launching a new mobile phone into the market, right? To attract the customers, what features you want to see within it means the features which you are seeing in different other mobiles, all those, if you are embedding within a single piece, right, it's going to attract the customers. In the same way, Python is such a kind of programming where we can see the features of different other programmings like scripting features, object oriented programming features, procedural oriented features, modular programming features. So multiple programming features you can see in Python. That's the reason we call Python as a hybrid language. It's a hybrid language. Any kind of applications can be developed. And Python is a high level language. It's a high level language. So there are two types of languages. Two types of languages. First is like low level language and high level language. Low level language, low level languages and high level languages. High level languages. Low level languages, example like assembly level, machine level languages. They are not human understandable. They are not portable. And machine, they are machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. They're machine dependent. High level languages, they are like Python. Python is a high level language. They are human understandable, they are portable and machine independent. Just I'm copying this. Human understandable, they are portable and machine independent. Machine independent, they can run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. Okay. And Python is an interpretation language, line by line execution we are going to see, which makes debugging easy. And Python is a cross-platform language which can run on any platform like Windows, Mac, and Linux. Okay. User-friendly programming language. User-friendly or programmer-friendly programming language, which provides simple and easy syntaxes. The syntaxes of Python looks like normal English language. They're not complex. They're not as complex as other programming, right? It looks very simple and easy. They look like normal English statements. And who can learn Python and what are the prerequisites? So there is no prerequisites for learning Python. So even with zero programming knowledge, you can just update with Python. So we are going to discuss this Python from the scratch ground level to the advanced application level. So the syntaxes of Python are little different as compared with other programming. So we'll be discussing everything from the scratch, right? So there is no prerequisites. Anybody can update with Python. I was saying like the Python statements look like normal English statements. Okay. At the end of the session or tomorrow, I'll be just briefing you some example snippets of Python. You can just check how this Python coding or scripts looks like. Okay. How Python was built, and how Python was derived, right? Okay. So it was built, Python was built by taking the features from different other programming, right? Programming features like that. Procedural oriented, programming, like C language. So it has taken the features from procedural oriented programming like C language. It has got features of object oriented programming. It has got the features of object oriented programming. Object oriented programming like C++. So it was introduced in the year 1989. We won't see Java has come after Python. So Python in the year 1989. Java was introduced in the year 1995, right? So object-oriented has taken the features from this object-oriented programming and has taken the features from scripting languages like Linux shell script. But as compared with this shell script, we can write many scriptings. We can write many scripts using Python, which looks like normal English statements, very simple and easy to understand, not as complex as for Linux shell script. And modular programming has got the modular programming, right? Modular programming like Modulo 3. So like object-oriented programming means I even can say like Java. So object-oriented. If I talk about this Java, right? Java. The Java programmers or developers are strictly restricted to use only object-oriented programming features. Without object-oriented programming, there is no Java application, right? Java programmer application. But In Python, with object oriented, without object oriented, with procedural oriented, with modular programming, we can develop many varieties of applications. In scripting, we can write many automation scripts, especially like example in we can write automation scripts within this AWS, DevOps, and in this robotics, IoT, we can write many scripts using Python. And modular programming, Python has got a great boom today because of this modular programming, and where we got the concept of modules. We cover the concept of modules, and it supports nearly 89,300 inbuilt modules Python provides for various domains. Whatever domain you are from, Python is providing a module, right? Whatever domain you are from, Python provides a module. For example, if you're from data science background, for example, okay, I'm just modules. So separate modules for every domain. For example, if you're from data science background, right? Python provides separate modules for it. Like we have got some separate modules using which we can perform some plottings, visualizations, data analysis. Like we have got models for data science like NumPy, Pandas, CP, Scikit-learn, Matplotlib. And this is big data. For big data also, we have got models like Pandas module. Separate models Python provides for this. We don't need to write huge codings by using these models. Within that, we've got some built-in functionalities using which we can perform these operations. For testing, for test cases, right? We have got separate models Python provides. For networking, also, like Python provides separate modules, right? Okay. And for animations, separate models Python provides, right? Okay. So in this way, for any environment, for example, if you're from operating system, okay, OS, we have got a separate model Python provides. The name of the model itself is OS for operating system. Okay, and if you're from database background, right? For example, for Oracle database, Python wants to connect with Oracle, separate model Python provides like CX underscore Oracle is the model using which Python can easily connect with the database. For every database, Python provides a model. For MySQL, right? Like we have got a model like PyMySQL or MySQL.connector with which Python can easily connect with the database. Even for SQL, for each and every database, for SQL server, right? We have got a PyODBC. It's a model with which Python can connect with the SQL. So for every database, a separate model Python provides using which we can connect with the database in an easier manner. And if you want to work with any files like Excel files, for reading Excel files, for writing data into Excel, for creating Excel workbook, just by writing some Python statements and executing them, go and check at whatever location with whatever name you have specified, the file is going to get created. And for XML files, working with XML files, creating XML files, reading data from it, writing data into XML files. The name of the model itself is XML, right? And for comma separated values, CSV, select comma separated values like CSV files, separate like CSV reader, CSV writer. We have got some functions available within the name of the model itself is CSV. And for creating like PDF files, PDF, we have a separate model Python provides creating PDFs. So for each and every file format, Python providing a model using which you can read, you can write, and you can perform all these operations, right? For mathematical operations, we have got math module available. For mathematical operations, we have got math module available. Okay. Statistics. We have got many stat models available. Statistics, right? For administrative activities and for generating graphs or reports. So any kind of graphs we can generate using Python in a simpler manner. We have got like models like matplotlib for plottings and visualizations. Any kind of graphs, I said, right? Normal graph, bar graphs, histograms, scatter plots, stack plots. Any kind of graphs can be created by using Python. So this is just I have showed you some of these models, but in this way, thousands of models Python has got for the various domains, not only for the computer applications, but also for other electronics like electronics and civil, like for embedded applications, for CAD applications, computer aided designing. So Python has got many models, right? So it doesn't mean that you need to have the idea about all these thousands of models, not like, but based upon your domain, just you are going to explain, but just going to explore the domain specific models. You're just going to explore them. So like how to import them, how to use it, and different ways of importing it, renaming it, reloading it. So working with the models, you need to have the idea about Python. Okay. So as part of this course, we'll be learning about these modules, how to work with it, how to rename, how to reload, how to use it, how to get a specific feature of it, and how to create our own models in Python. Okay, fine. And just the Python real-time applications. What kind of applications we can develop today by using Python? Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications? So just I'll brief out one by one. That is the applications where Python is used. So today, like Python mostly used in creation of web applications. It's creation of web applications, right? So many web applications are getting developed by using Python. You may ask some, okay, like from the last 20-25 years, like uh, we have got Java, .NET, all these various other technologies available for developing the web applications. But why again Python? Python has got frameworks like the Django framework, where it has got flexible options, flexible features. This has got flexible options, flexible features. Like at a rapid speed, we can develop web applications using Python frameworks. And okay, and not only that, like even programmers or developers are getting attracted towards Python because of its simple and easy syntaxes and very less coding and thousands of model provides. So like even not only that, like if you see very less coding, for example, if I write a task in Java, if it takes like 100 lines, approximately I can write within 15 lines in Python. If I take 15 lines of Python code, approximately I can write within 4 lines in Python. Just I will demonstrate it. So like today or tomorrow session, like by taking a task implementing in different languages, you can check programming wise, length wise, complexity wise, how this Python coding looks compared with other program, right? So Python mostly used for creation of web applications. Next, and also for automation applications. Automation applications, right? So for automation applications, Java is never preferred, right? Java is never preferred. Means if you talk about this data science, machine learning, okay, so Python is mostly preferred, but Java is never preferred for this kind of automation applications. Both the two major programming languages like Python and Java currently mostly used, but both used for enterprise applications creations. But apart from this, Python has got many applications. We are just discussing one by one, right? See, like automation applications using technologies like data science, using technologies like IoT, DevOps. Okay. If I talk about this IoT, right? So automation applications, IoT. So today, if we talk about everything through online, right? Online banking, online shopping, online exams, online education, e-learning, online business like e-commerce, communications through online, like audio, video, chatting, games through online, media and healthcare, everything through online, right? Okay. So you should have seen like smartphones, smart TV, smart homes, right? You're going to see like smart homes and smart cities. You should have already seen like smartphones and smart TVs, but you are going to see like smart homes and smart cities. Yes. Everything I'll be discussing at the end of the session, right? Yes. Shankar, I'll be giving time. Okay, I'll be just discussing at the end of the class. Still, I didn't discuss about those things, right? So if it okay, just I was talking about this automation applications. I was talking about this IoT, right? So IoT, it is a physical network or device embedded with electronics, software, sensors, and network connectivity for collecting data, exchanging data, and controlling the things from the place where you are, right? I can say it's a system of system forming a very large systems. So here coding, 90% of the coding is done within this Python. And if I talk about this data science, right? Data science, everything deals with the data. Data has got experience, data has got future reference using data science. We perform like data analysis, data predictions, data classifications, data clusterings, data recommendations. So it's a blend of technique. Data science is a blend of technique. The main technique what we see here is ML, machine learning, right? Machine learning. So, okay. So without entering into the technicals of it, just let me explain where exactly Python is useful. So machine learning, it is an approach where we provide some data patterns to an application. We provide some data patterns to an application. Based on the data patterns provided, we're making the application to predict in the automated fashion, right? Providing some data patterns to an application, making it to predict in the automated fashion. Okay. Okay. For example, a bank has provided loans to 1,000 customers. Out of this 1,000, 600 they are paying regularly and 400 they are not paying. So like okay, my application should predict to whom to approve the loans, to whom to reject the loans. So for that, so what it just like the 600 people who are paying the loans, they have got some common features. I'm just going to group them as X features. Now, and the 400 who are not paying, right, they have got some common features. I'm grouping them as Y features, right? Y features. Using this X and Y features, just using this X and Y features, I'm going to train the application. Just I'm going to train the application based on this X and Y features. Based on this data provided, based on this training provided, the application need to predict, right? For example, tomorrow like 100 new customers are approaching for the loan, to whom to approve, to whom to reject out of this 100. So in out of this 100, if 60, if for example, if 30 have got X features, 70 has got Y features. The people with X features, the previous data history saying that they can pay the loans, then and approve the loans for this 30, reject the loans for this 70. As the people with Y features, they have got the history saying that they are not paying the loans. So who is doing this application? How application is performing this? It has got a trend. Who is training the application? Who is providing the data patterns? The person who trains the application, we call him as a data scientist. Okay, that is not our part of our discussion now. So we have got many ML techniques available. ML techniques, machine learning techniques available, right? Like regression techniques, classification techniques, clustering techniques, recommendation techniques, pattern matching techniques, right? For all these techniques to implement, we require a language. For all the techniques to implement, we require a language, right? So Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming. Okay, so Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming for this ML techniques, implementing this ML techniques, right? Okay. Fine. And apart from this, right, and even in this DevOps environment also, so DevOps are AWS. For example, Python not only in any of this, like it serves as the remedy to any problem in the IT industries, which comes to, if I discuss about this DevOps, right, the ultimate goal is to reduce the time taken in DevOps lifecycle to improve the efficiency of it. So for DevOps, it offers a structural solution in terms of automating the tasks in each of the stages of the DevOps lifecycle. And its Python is one of the best scripting languages. It has got a variety of Python libraries, which allows in writing many scripts for the improved development lifecycle within this DevOps. So now, so today, like most of the high-end technologies using Python for its implement as an implementation language. So if you talk about like data science with Python, big data with Python, IoT, robotics, AWS, DevOps, web applications creations with Python, but apart from this, where Python can be used in big data environment, right? Big data applications. Big data applications, right? So like I'll take just a minute to explain about this, where exactly Python is used within this big data environment. Big data, the name itself saying like huge volumes of data. So currently the data is stored in the form of data storage units like KBs of data, MBs of data, GB, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes, petabytes, sotabytes, so on, right? Fine. For example, from TB onwards, we say it as big data, huge data. You should have seen like KBs of data, MBs of data, GBs of data. But TBs of data, petabytes, or exabytes of data. Petabytes of data. Do you think like petabytes of data is it getting generated in the current real world? If so, examples of petabytes of data generation. So if you are aware of like social media like Facebook, right? Facebook. So it has got thousands, it has got millions and trillions of users throughout the world, not only within the country, it has got users throughout the world, right? Million, okay. In a minute, how many posts and videos are getting circulated? What should be the storage capacity of the Facebook? Not in MBs or GBs, right? Petabytes of data getting generated, huge data, right? Okay. Not only like Facebook, today, if you take any application, today, if you take any application generating huge data, For example, if I take 1 minute transaction, you can see like huge data getting generated. In a minute, how many FB posts? Like Twitter tweets, Google queries, right? Or like you are creating your own videos and uploading in the YouTube, right? YouTube videos upload. And if I talk like email or Gmail messages, millions and trillions of users use email or Gmail messages, right? Okay. And for bank transactions, within the city, you see hundreds of branches for a particular bank. Within the state, we see hundreds of branches. Within the country, like we see like lakhs of branches, like banks like SBI Bank, right? We see lakhs of branches. Again, each branch we see like lakhs of millions of customers. Each customer making multiple transactions per hour, per day, per week, per month, and per year. Each and every transaction need to be stored, right? Huge data. And even if in telecom, right? Huge data is good. And even if you talk about the e-commerce website like Flipkart or Amazon, right? Generating huge data. Everywhere we see like huge data getting generated, not in KBs, MBs, or GBs, petabytes. On an average, Google generating more than 800 petabytes per month on an average. 800 petabytes means 1 petabyte equal to 1024, right? TBs means 800 means 800 into 1024 TBs. That is what the data generated by Google on an average within a month. So we have got some big data technologies available. Big data technologies are tools like big data Hadoop, big data like Spark. Okay. So generally, if you talk about this Hadoop and Spark, right? If you prefer any technology like C or C++, Java or Python, they are used for processing, and like databases like Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, they are for storage, right? But Hadoop performs both storage and processing. That to like huge data, unlimited data it can store and process that huge data in quick time. So Spark has got very, so like today if we talk about Spark, it has got a great boom in today's market. Spark. So for this big data technologies, right? Okay. Hadoop and Spark. Spark, this implementation goes within language like Scala, language like Python, right? Spark with Scala, we say Spark with Python, like Spark with Python, like PySpark. Right? So even within this big data environment, Python is preferred. What is the difference between big data and the data science? The big data is for data management. Big data, if you see, like query was asked, what is the difference between big data and data science? Means big data is for data management. Right? For data storage and data processing. Data science for data analysis. Data predictions. Data classifications, data clustering, data recommendations. So here, big data for data management, for storage and processing, data science for data analysis, predictions, classifications, clusterings, recommendations. So I list out all the various other applications of Python, which what kind of applications we can develop today by using Python, right? Apart from this, Python mostly used for scientific applications. Scientific applications. So we have got many like scientific models like NumPy for data analysis and for numerical analysis, right? And apart from this, Python mostly used in game development, for game development, right? So game development. So so today Python mostly used in developing games, right? Many online games, single user, multi-user online games, right? Okay, especially for developing games in Python, we have got a framework called Pygame. Pygame is the framework given by Python, especially for game development. Not only Pygame, we have got another module like PyCora. Is another what is the framework? So Pygame and PyCora are the frameworks given by Python for game development. Apart from this, we have got many 3D rendering libraries like PySoy. PySoy is a 3D rendering library for developing games in Python. And for GUI animation applications, graphical user interface or animation applications, Python is mostly preferred. We have got models like TK intermodels like PyQt. These models we have got for game development. So GUI animations, right? Okay. And for testing or test cases, Python is used for this testing or test cases. And apart from this, Python used for scheduling tasks. Scheduling, it is also used for scheduling tasks, right? We have got Airflow for it, and Python used for software development. Software development. Software developers use Python as one of the support language, and we use like Buildbot, Apache Gump for automated compilation and testing, Roundup Track as for project management and bug tracking. Okay, so software development. So software developers make use of Python as a support language. And for business applications, Python is used for business applications. Business applications. So Python is one of the great choice to develop e-commerce systems. It's one of the great choice for developing e-commerce system, right? So today, like Triton, a three-tier high-level general purpose applications. And for database applications. So this is one of the hottest Python applications. So using this, we can connect with any database like MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, and all this, right? Okay. Next, for networking applications. For network programming or networking applications, right? Especially for network applications or for network programmers, right? Okay. For networking and networking applications, we have got a separate framework Python provides, right? Twisted Python. So this is a framework, Twisted Python. It's a framework given by Python, especially for networking, network programming of a network applications. For embedded applications. for embedded applications. So even for this embedded applications, Python is preferred. The most well-known embedded application, Raspberry Pi. What is it? Raspberry Pi. Which use Python for its scripting, right? Which is Raspberry Pi, which use Python for its scripting. Yeah, framework, we have got many components. What is a framework means? Okay, we have got many inbuilt components, inbuilt libraries are available with which we can make use of it. We don't need 70% of the work done by the framework. Only 30% we are just going to perform. Framework is such where it has got many inbuilt things. So 70% of that work done by the framework, only like 30% we are going to perform by writing. Okay. Not only just for the control, or not only for this computer applications, I said even for electronics like embedded kind of applications, Python is preferred. Okay, not only for this, like even for the civil applications, for the go for CAD, 3D CAD, 3D CAD applications. For 3D CAD applications, computer designing, okay, Python is next. Apart from this, for web scraping, for scraping data from different websites or extracting data from different websites, harvesting data from different websites, Python is preferred. And also like for audio and video applications, right, Python is preferred. So the most famous like there's some applications built by using Python for this audio and video applications. Like there are some applications like Team Player, and there is like one application like C Play. So in many more applications we see which are built by using Python, audio and video applications, and also Python used for computer vision. Computer vision like face detections, color detections, for all this Python is preferred. And within this robotics, data analysis. So okay, these are the various kinds of applications. So where okay, like web applications, automation applications, big data applications, scientific applications, game development, GUI testing, scheduling, software, database applications. So these are the various applications of so okay. So scraping data from different websites, right? Some websites may allow, some websites won't be allowing, right? So scraping data from websites. Generally, if data available in generally we are just going to pull the data from databases, right? Data. If data available in databases, we are going to query it. If not in the databases, you can just scrap it from the websites. Scrap the data from the websites using this web scraping. We have got some models like URL models for it. Okay. And as compared with other programming languages, like Python has got interactive mode. I can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For example, I'll just go to this command prompt, CMD. I'll just type Python here. It displays the Python version and Python interpreter gets open. So Python version is 3.10.1, and this is where you can see, like I was saying, like Python supports interactive mode. This three arrow symbol you can say, right? Here we can write any Python valid Python statements and interact with it statement by statement. 3 plus 4. It gives the response. 5 into 8. X has 10. Y has 5. What is the X value? What is the Y value? What is X plus Y? What is X minus Y? What is X into Y? X by Y. So we don't need to write any data types here, like int X or float Y. Okay. It provides the response like X equal to hello HELLO, right? Sorry, X equal to hello, double quotes is not closed. Yes. X into 3 prints hello for 3 times. X into 5 prints hello for 5 times. X into 5, right? X into 5 prints hello for 5 times. X into 10 prints hello for 10 times. In this way, any valid Python statements you can just type here and check it. So this feature you cannot see in other programming languages, interactive mode. Statement by statement you can execute. Both Python also provides batch mode also in this interactive mode. Okay. And reasons why Python is suddenly super popular. Reasons why Python is suddenly super popular. And Python comparison with other programming, just I'll be discussing in the tomorrow session, right? Python comparison with other programming, right? I'll take some examples. I'll take a task, I'll write code into multiple languages, right? You can just check how simple these Python statements look, right? As compared with other programming. Now say the reasons from the discussion what we had from the last 1 hour, right? Reasons why Python is suddenly super. First thing is very less code. The programmers are developers are getting attracted towards Python because of very less code and very simple syntaxes. Simple syntaxes. And multi-programming features. Multi-programming. Very less code, simple syntaxes, multi-programming features we are going to see. And interactive mode. Just now as we can interact statement by statement in Python, like we have got interactive mode. Wide varieties of applications. Wide varieties of applications, right? And many built-in libraries. Many built-in libraries. Okay. Which makes Python suddenly super popular. Very less coding, simple syntaxes, multi-programming features or hybrid features, interactive mode, and wide varieties of applications and many built-in libraries, right? And this observe the next one, like the Python scope and job market. Python scope and job market. Just observe this. Just I'll open this Google and show you. Popular coding language. Popular coding language, right? First, I'll show you in 2020. Total year is completed, right? 2022. So just you can check this. Top 10 series, top 10 programming language in the 2020. Python stands first. Next comes JavaScript, Java. The most popular programming languages, like Python stands first. Next Java, the other things. If you see like the percentage of usage of Python in the industry, like today mostly used. Can you see this big circle? 31% by Python and just 19%. But in the if you go back like 10 to 15 years back, Java was 43% used, Python was just 4% used. But now Python usage has increased. Now, if you see that ranking, Python ranking, okay, you can just check this, right? Python rank. Rank 1, language Python, and any type of applications can be. But Java stands second. So Python remains as the most popular programming languages. And if you want to see like ranking based on average salary and ranking based on what job openings, right? You can just check this. Python stands first in this average salary and ranking by volume of job openings. Okay, you can just check this, right? Okay, ranking by average salary, ranking by volume of job openings, right? In this way. So okay, that is what I was saying, right? So Python is widely used today, mostly used in the industry for various implementation of various high-end technologies, and also like data science with Python, big data with Python, IoT, robotics with Python, AWS DevOps with Python, right? And web applications creations with Python. So the usage of Python has increased a lot. Okay? You can just Google and check Python jobs. You can see like many jobs for Python. Okay, so what are the and what is the course content that I'm going to discuss next, starting from the scratch to the advanced level, right? So nearly like so Python basics, starting with the Python basics. Yeah, you will be getting the recording sessions, right? Yes, Venkat Reddy. Yes, you'll be getting the recordings. Python basics, Python operations, Python modes, interactive mode, batch mode, Python editors, Python data types, constants, variables, input output statements, comments, escape sequences, and Python operators like arithmetic, comparison, logical, assignment, bitwise, membership, identity, right? Python IDs. In real time, we use IDs, how to run the Python code and how to execute the Python code. I'm just going to show you in all the IDs. So like PyCharm ID, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans. So we have got many IDs, right? So how to work with Anaconda distributions, how to work with Anaconda like Jupyter Notebook, Spider ID. So I'll be showing you the step-by-step downloading and installation process of this IDs, like in real time we use with these IDs. Like Jupyter, Spider, Eclipse, all this. Flow control statements, looping statements, strings in Python, more discussion on it, like string indexing, string slicing, string concatenation, string functions, string methods, string special characters, right? Collections also the same thing. List, tuple, sets, and dictionaries, list operations, list indexing, list slicing, list heterogeneous, list different ways of creating list modifications, list addresses. Okay, tuple operations. 1 second. Okay, different ways of creating tuple operations, tuple addresses, tuple functions, nested tuples, tuple methods, different differences between tuple and list and tuple, and Python sets, set operations, set slicing, okay, set functions, set addresses, set mathematical operations, set methods, right? Similarly, dictionary operations, dictionary properties, different ways of creating dictionaries, nested dictionaries, dictionaries within dictionaries, right? Dictionary methods, okay, functions, different functions, defining them, calling them, properties of function, categories of functions, arguments type, default argument, non-default, keyword, non-keyword, arbitrary arguments, variable length arguments, right? and local, global, recursive, and different types of functions like lambda function, filter function, map function, reduce function. And modules in Python, modular programming, right? What is a module? And fine. Different types of models, creating user-defined models, setting path, the import statement, normal import, from import, how to rename it, how to reload the model, how to work with models, how to get our own models, right? Package in Python, errors and exceptions in Python, exception handling, file handling in Python, and object-oriented programming features in deep like abstraction, encapsulation. Okay, and how Python see like working with this object-oriented programming like abstraction, encapsulation, static, non-static, constructor, destructor, method overriding, everything in brief, and like regular expressions for extracting required data from the given data. And for data validations, we go for regular expressions, database access, Python database connectivity. I'll be showing the installation of one database, and later I'll show you how Python connects with that database and perform these operations. Python data, and some of you were asking that what are the modules that I'm going to cover as part of this course. So we are discussing some modules like Python database connection model, Python date and time related model, calendar model, datetime model, operating system model. Advanced concepts like iterator, generator, closures, decorators, web scraping, working with CSV, Excel, JSON files, and GUI programming like tkinter and Excel workbook for creating, okay, Excel workbook worksheets, inserting, and data analytics like pandas, numpy, and matplotlib with working examples. Introduction to this data science like and some data science related models like pandas, right? Pandas series, pandas data frame, pandas data frames from dictionaries, from list, from series, from CA, Excel files, from JSON files, from databases, pandas date functionality. Pandas time delta, creating data frames from time delta, and grouping segregations. And also like not only pandas, numpy model, numpy indexing, numpy slicing, flattening, and matplotlib model for plottings. Nearly like 30 modules I'm going to discuss, like 30 concepts I'm going to discuss as part of this in brief, in depth, right? So I said like I will be discussing some models related to different domains, right? Some data science related modules, some big data related modules like pandas, and some graphics related models like tkinter, and regular expressions related model, database connected related models. Okay, some models, okay, and how to create our own models, right? So you'll be getting the idea how to work with the models. So some models like OS model, graphics model. So you'll be getting that how to work with the models, how to use them, how to get the Python is going to provide help, right? How we can see help on each and every functionality, on a particular functionality or on the model itself, we can get the help, right? Yes, you'll be getting the syllabus copy. Okay, fine. So this is in brief, in depth, we are going to discuss like nearly it takes like 75 to 80 hours. The duration of the course will be like 75 to 80 hours, 2 to 2.5 months. We'll be discussing for 2 to 2.5 months, right? 75 to 80 hours totally in brief, in depth. Okay. So if you got any queries related to this Python course, Python subject, right, you can go with your queries now. Yes, you can ask your queries now, right? And yeah, yeah. I'll be, yes, Praveen Kumar, right? Yes, I'll be discussing one at the end of that, right? Syllabus copy, yes, Venkat, you'll be getting the syllabus copy, right, to your mail IDs. Duration of the course, right? Yes, Shivendra, right? Duration of the course will be like 2 to 2.5 months. $75 to 80 hours, right? 75 to 80 hours. It will be like 2.5 months. Yes, yes. Any more queries, right? Like, oh yeah, recording. So clear notes will be provided for topic wise. For each and every topic, clearly the notes will be provided. So everything will be discussed from the scratch, ground level to the advanced level. So you guys, you can attend the session tomorrow and after tomorrow also to see more on this Python, how this training goes, right? Yes, Karthik, right? Yes. Daily basis, you'll be getting the video that day itself, right? Every day, that day itself by today. Like for example, now the class got finished, right? By afternoon, you'll be getting the video of it. Still, if you're absent because some health, because of some office work, if you're unable to attend, you can just go through and attend the next sessions, right? Yeah, Rohit Singh, there won't be any difference taking online or offline, right? So whatever I see, for example, in offline also, see whatever I draw, you will be able to see, right? So whatever diagrams I draw here, you'll be able to see. Okay, here whatever you draw, and there won't be much difference between online and offline. So with my open hand, I can draw the diagrams, or if I want to explain anything like on the board, I can be able to do that right here also. You can just able to see it. Now also you can just ask your queries through voice also, not a problem, right? So everyone will be in unmuted status only. I want the sessions to be interactive. For each and every statement I type, you'll be just responding with this. Okay, you'll be responding with this, right? Your queries. Now also I made you can just speak through voice even now also, right? During the sessions also, the sessions I want interactive sessions.
What other time or batch do you teach?
Yeah, recently, okay, other batch of time is like recently started batches at night 9 o'clock. There was a batch started recently. Now we are starting in the morning at 6 to 7, right? Daily. It goes from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. daily. Recently, there was a batch started at 9 p.m. in the evening, right?
9 p.m. How many days it was started? 9 p.m.
It started like 1 week ago.
Oh, okay. Thank
you. Right. So, yeah. So I'll be discussing more than 300 plus code examples, right? More than 300 plus code examples I'm going to cover as part of this course. So in brief, in depth, nothing like bringing some pre-written code and explaining those. It won't happen. Right? Everything I'll be typing and showing you the code. Yeah. Fine. Okay. So we'll see more on this Python in the tomorrow session. So
Hi, Sagar.
yes. Every time. Yeah.
You will be having a live projects or
so at the end, I'll be showing you one, right? At the end of that course, I'll be just discussing it.
okay.
Yes, Khalil, right? Every day, same time will be, yes, every time, the same time, 6 to 7, that's last time, right?
So if I want to join the 9 p.m. batch, so do I need to contact your administration?
Yeah, administration. You need to.
Okay. And are you also covering the Python for data science here?
Yeah, just I was showing you, right? So Python for data science, right? Python introduction to this
Oh,
data.
NumPy, yeah,
Pandas,
MATLAB.
NumPy model, Pandas model, Matplotlib model. These things will be covered, right? Fine.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, I joined Python classes for years only. Before 2 months ago, I paid the payment, but due to some reason, I was not able to attend the classes. So, can I continue with this batch, or I have to make the payment once again, sir?
No need to pay. You can just continue it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So any queries, you can just contact this, right? This is that online team. So if you have got any general queries related to the fees, other things, right? Timings, yes, just now you're asking, right? So this is what the contact details. Again, they'll be posting you tomorrow, the total details, other things, right? Related. So meanwhile, if you have got any queries, you can make use of this number. Yeah, about the payment method procedure, everything, you'll be getting a mail to your mail IDs. Already you have provided your mail IDs, right? While entering into the meeting, while registering it, you'll be getting the payment process and procedure. If you have got anything, you can just contact this number, right? And tomorrow they'll be sharing you the other things like payment details, contact details of this online team, the other things, right? Fine.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yes.
Whether any group will be created for this our group so that we can interact or we can come to know when is the class if you are any assignments is given to track it.
Yeah, definitely. After, yes. So like it will be created, definitely it will be created. But once all the students got enrolled and got registered, once from the enrolled students, a group is going to be created.
Okay, thanks.
Sir, do you explain about web development also with some project?
So web development, 1 second. So this, whatever this 75, 80 hours, whatever we are discussing related to this Python for the Python advanced and application oriented models. So those who want to go to this web development, right? So there are two categories of people learning Python. There are two categories of people learning Python. First category, they learn this Python and Python in advanced, whatever this we're discussing now. And they use this Python in implementing data science, in big data, in IoT, in AWS, in writing scripts in AWS, DevOps, okay, in this various, in robotics, in various high-end technologies, learning Python and just implementing in various high-end technologies. The second category of people, right, means this first category of people will be having career in other data science, big data, IoT, robotics. Second category of people who wants to have career in Python itself, right? Who wants to have a career in Python itself. Okay, fine. Those people, they need to go a step forward and also need to update with framework of Python. So they need to also update with framework with Python, like Python framework. Like we have got frameworks like Django framework, Flask framework, okay, that one, Pyramid framework. But the most famous framework is Django framework. We need to update with Django framework for interactive web applications creation for this web development. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, that Django, can we say Django as a module also, module of a Python, or it's only framework?
It's a framework. Framework is different, right? Framework has got its own, okay, it has got its own database available, it's got its own server available, right? So everything, we will see many inbuilt features in this, right? So we have got frameworks like for Python, we have got Django framework, Flask framework, Bottle framework, Pyramid framework, TurboGear framework. The most famous is Django framework. Okay? So I'm going to provide in brief knowledge on this Python. So at the end of the course, you'll be getting great command on this Python, how to build this how to build this, right? The coding, and also many tasks I will be providing. Some assignments and tasks I'll be providing during the weekends, right? Like every Friday, I'll be providing some kind of assignments to work with. Means if you want to have a command on this Python, it's not that you are going to write your own tasks, your own coding, right? With the assignments and tasks I'm providing. So getting the output is not the criteria here, but you are supposed to write your own code, right? So at the end of that course, you'll be getting that command on this Python. And once again, I said, there is no prerequisite for learning Python. Anybody can update with Python. Zero programming skills also you can update. The only thing what I expect is regularity to the sessions, and interactive means you should keep responding in the sessions, right? I want the sessions means you will be kept in unmuted status only for each and every statement I type. You will keep on responding, right? Yeah, Shraddha, yes, there'll be one. There'll be one. We'll be discussing one at the end of the course, right? Fine. Yes, Shankar Prabhu, yes, I said like not only Django, Flask, Pyramid, Bottle, these are the various frameworks of Python, right? But among this, Django has got flexible features. Has got flexible features. We can develop web applications at a rapid speed using this Django framework. For interactive applications creations, we have got frameworks. The Django is one which is mostly used, mostly preferred. So fine, I hope I'm done with your queries. Still, if you have got any queries, you can just ask me in tomorrow's session. So I'm running out of time, so I'll just stop here for today. Meet you tomorrow at same time, same link, and to see more on this Python. Tomorrow's session is not something like replication or duplication of today's. It will be like continuation what we have stopped here, right? Fine, okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Fine, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.